Welcome to the Back in Time podcast. I am your editor and co-host, Kyle Autry, as JD said last week. And joined as always by my co-host, JD. How you doing, bud?
Co-host and friend.
Co-host, friend, not editor.
Not editor. Just I show up. I'm doing well. It's April, for those of you who didn't know, and that's the reason why we're here. And I got out on my bicycle today for the first time of the season. Got a little bike ride under my pants, so I'm a little tired.
That's awesome, man. I like a good bike ride. I actually went for about a 20-minute bike ride too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I did 30.
Well, it's not a race, you know.
No, I mean, no. Nice. That's awesome, though. That's awesome. How was everything going with you and your chasing the dream and your journey?
Yeah, everything's going really well. For those that don't listen to Chafing the Dream, and apparently there's a lot of you because the numbers are not the same across the board. That is a weight loss journey podcast that I do with Paranormal Pat, who's been a guest on here for a while. And I am, let's see, today's the 5th. So I am 10 days away from hitting the 2-month mark post surgery. And I have lost 63 pounds.
Holy shit, man. Congrats.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How do you feel? Do you feel better?
You would think that I'm like running and like doing all this like fun stuff that I haven't done in forever. But unfortunately, during the surgery, I went and saw a physical therapist because I've been having issues with my arm. And I have like these shooting pains. Like if I move it real quick, it feels like somebody's burning me with like a hot poker. And I'm like, what is going on? They're like, well, looks like you got kind of a bad neck. And I'm like, yeah, I have arthritis in my neck from playing football. Yes, I'm with you. And he's like, yeah, I think what they did is position your head really weird during the surgery. And that has caused some issues with the nerves in your neck that start here and go to your shoulder. And then he actually recommended I go back to the chiropractor, and he said it's definitely probably from that. And it's like in my rotator cuff. So they're going in there and he just goes in there and just breaks stuff up with his hand. And I like scream in pain, and it's good times.
Good times.
But yeah, I mean, other than the debilitating arm injury right now, everything else is going fairly well. But yeah, man, how are things going with you?
Pretty good. I got a little bit of good news earlier today.
Okay.
So those of you that have listened for a while, you know that I'm trying to be a writer. I've had some moderate success and a lot of failure in that department. But I got a project that's scheduled to film in May.
Okay.
And I found out tonight that Max Landis, son of John Landis, is actually going to provide notes on the screenplay.
How nervous are you about that?
He's one of my favorite writers.
Okay.
In terms of screenplays. I'm very he's going to tear me apart, and rightfully so. I mean, it's Max Landis.
Right. That's a big name, man. That's exciting. And, being a former athlete, I mean, you should know this. I mean, you got to have thick skin, and whatever he's telling you is for the better of the script. And I'm sure whatever he says, none of it's personal.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so flexible, I have my side writing and then my full-time job writing. I don't take anything personal. And if we have a good story and we can turn it into a great story, by all means, tear down the shit bridge.
There you go. Well, that's awesome, man. Congrats on that. And hopefully as things progress and get into production and you're allowed to say more, we will do that. Maybe we'll get the director on or the producer on at some point, and we'll talk about the whole project.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be phenomenal.
Okay. And by then, your internet might be better.
Is it crapping out?
It's here or there. It's not great.
The amplifiers are supposed to be here tomorrow night.
Okay. Just in time for one of the reasons we're here today to talk about our podcast of April, we have a big show tomorrow right here on YouTube. So same time, same bad time, same good place. Right here on YouTube, we are going to be talking with the director of The Last Blockbuster, which is streaming right now on Netflix. You can watch if you have that subscription, and his name is Taylor Morden. So he's directed a couple different films up to this point. So he did The Last Blockbuster. It looks like he has another one coming out called Sticker Shock, which is a short film, which sounds kind of cool. It says, "Don't judge a truck by its driver." There's another short that he's already completed called The Pickup. So, I mean, these are all ones that looks like he's kind of written and directed. And then I don't know if you saw this, but earlier in the year, there was like a fan made project about Back to the Future called Project 88, Back to the Future 2. And he was actually the director on that. So
it's a perfect fit.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good stuff that we can talk with him about. And, it looks like he's fairly new to filmmaking. His first one was 2016. So yeah, I think he'll be a good person for us to talk about and, really kind of dive into Blockbuster, man. Cause I have so many great memories of Blockbuster and, really any rental store from being a kid. I mean, what are you kind of looking forward to covering with him?
Well, to be fair and to be honest, I will be watching the documentary after we're finished recording.
Yep.
So I really want to see what he's done and just talk stories.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to rewatch it either tonight or tomorrow during the day just to kind of refresh my memory because it's been a couple weeks since I watched it.
Yeah, and it's a quick watch, isn't it? It's like 90 some minutes. It's like perfectly digestible.
Yep. And there's a lot of great cameos in there too, which we can talk with him about for sure. But Kevin Smith has a cameo in here. Brian Posen.
I haven't seen it yet. I don't want spoilers.
Telling you which actors are in it is a spoiler?
How? Because when I see it for the first time, it's
okay,
gonna be like, holy moly! I knew Kevin Smith was in it.
Okay. So I will say this. No spoiler. Phantom Dark Dave would love this because of one of the cameos.
See? Now we're encouraging people to go out and watch.
There we go. Unagi. There we go. All right. So that's going to be our first episode of the month to kind of go along with Shootin' the Manure April. We do have a second episode in the works as well. Bud Brutzman from Expedition Back to the Future is going to be coming back on the podcast this month. We're just trying to hammer out a date and time with him. So we'll have part 2 of that interview. And JD, what might our audience expect from a part 2 with Bud, who is going to be pleasantly surprised? We're both kind of clean shaven at this point. So
I might not, maybe I won't shave between now and then, but I mean, Bud brings the thunder. Talk about years of experience in the industry. What he did with his documentary for Discovery Plus is just phenomenal. What he does to promote and elevate Back to the Future is just undeniable. So, I mean, audience, if you want to learn and be dazzled, check out Bud.
Okay. Very good. And I should mention, if you guys haven't watched that first interview, we went over 1,000 views on that YouTube video that we did with him, the video version. So check that out. Or if you just want to watch regular old audio podcasts, you can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can pretty much find us. But yeah, we're pushing hard on the YouTube side these days. So come check out these faces. And but let's talk a little bit about the movie of the month, man. What are we thinking? I know at some point we need to kind of revisit the top 5 songs of 1996 because that one got canceled due to scheduling conflicts. So I'm definitely going to put that one in here as an episode.
Special bonus with special guests.
Yeah, and it might not even need to be a bonus. We can just throw it in there. Maybe we'll pick another movie from 96 here. We can just stay in the year. Let's see what
Blow
we
my
have. I'm
mind.
going to pull it up right now. We'll screen share here so everybody else can watch along with us here. So here are the movies for 1996. Is this the month that we finally get into Twister? Are we ready to tackle it? That's one that I'll throw out there. The trailer just dropped for Space Jam 2. I'm going to take a hard pass at it, but I wouldn't mind revisiting the original Space Jam.
Interesting. Oh, Mr. Holland's opus, obviously.
Yeah. Can I spoil one thing about the trailer for Space Jam 2? Because I know you're not going to ever watch it.
I avoided it. I watched this morning the trailer for Loki. I watched the trailer for Black Widow. I saw that Space Jam 2 came out, and I instead went to the bathroom.
All I have to say about the Loki trailer is, wow, that was pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so in the trailer for Space Jam 2, at one point, LeBron James is putting together a list of guys to help beat the aliens because they've got to beat the other team to get his son back. And just like in real life in the NBA, where he can't win unless he stacks the team, on his list is like Superman, the Iron Giant. Like he's putting all these big names on there, and Twitter went crazy because he always gets compared to Jordan, and everybody's like, "Look at him, Superman, Iron Giant." You know who Jordan had? Bill Murray, Nedry, and Tweety Bird. That's all he needed. Like,
hell
come
yeah.
on. There's no comparison.
There's no, agreed.
Okay. Well,
and I took that personally.
And that's the moment that I took things personally with that. So Cable Guy, we've covered Cable Guy, didn't we?
No, we have not.
Stringy Jim Carrey, that's an option. Tin Cup, which was one of my top movies from 1996 with our episode with Craig Goldberg from Yes Have Some. We could tackle some golf. Oh boy, a lot of good movies in here. Happy Gilmore. We have not covered Happy Gilmore, have we? Or was that an early episode? It was.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we did Happy Gilmore at like number 6. It was super early on.
Okay. I mean, it feels we've been doing this audience for so long that you'd think we would know our archives by now.
Yeah.
Did you verify?
So.
Yeah, episode 25.
25, yeah, that makes sense. That's one of my favorites, so not surprised there. Black Sheep, we could get a little Chris Farley action.
Ooh, I actually kind of like Black Sheep a little bit more than Tommy Boy.
Oh wow.
Rumble in the Bronx, Michael.
Let me just say this. That Thing You Do is it an April movie though? I don't know. Is it ever a bad time to talk That Thing You Do? I don't think it is.
Are you prepared for that? Because this would be our first foray into a more complex movie.
Right. Yeah, definitely going to be a little bit more of a serious review. But no, I would totally do That Thing You Do.
I love
no
that
pun
thing
intended.
Ooh, I love That Thing You Do. Also, no pun intended. Or pun intended because of,
Okay.
Kyle brings the pun gun.
So what do you think? Anything from
I think we've lost Kyle, audience. So it's a one-man show. We're still live. And hopefully he comes back soon because I need an adult.
Let the record show I was trying to X out of the box for That Thing You Do, and I X'd myself out of the entire chat.
Yeah, so the audience had about 7 seconds alone with me. You'll never believe what I said.
Did you pull a Garth from Woodstock where he just stands there and he's like, taps the mic a few times? He's like, is this thing on?
I mean, I just requested the assistance of an adult.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so as I was trying to say, how are we feeling about 96? Anything stand out, or we want to look at another year?
Dude, let's just do that thing you do. We've been talking about it. It's a movie that you love. I love. We're in 96 again with so much potential. We can do the music. Yeah. Screw it. Let's do it.
All right. We're doing it. We're doing that thing you do. I love it. Okay. So that's going to be our main episode for the month. Now, we did talk about top 5 songs of 1996. So that one's back on. That's going to be Anna and Paranormal Pat.
Well, I'll tell you what, we need to shout out to Anna because she might want to guest on the full episode of That Thing You Do because she's very passionate about that movie.
Okay.
And I mean, she can do both if she wants.
She can do both. She can definitely do both. Yeah, we'll leave that up to her if she just wants to do one or do both. But I'm totally fine with that. So, okay, how about just spitballing here? Top 5 music movies of all time.
Does Mr. Holland's Opus count?
Yeah, I would say that would fall in line there because I mean that's a good amount about music, right?
Does R. Kelly's In the Closet count?
The Truth About R. Kelly documentary? No.
No, I love this idea. The top 5 music videos. There's a lot out there.
I mean, speaking of 96, I mean, R. Kelly might be in that top 5 songs of 96. I mean, do we not remember his like slam dunk song from the Space Jam soundtrack?
Dude,
I Believe I Can Fly. I mean,
all right. I think this month is a slam dunk.
Okay. So we want to go top 5 music movies.
Yes.
Does that make sense, or does that sound like we're talking about music videos? Should we word that differently?
Call it movies about music. Musical movie. Oh, if we do musicals, then we'll get Phantom Dark Dave on here in a minute.
Oh boy. Be on here in a hot minute. Okay. So I'm writing it down. Top 5 music movies. Sure, we can find a guest easy for that. Obviously, the teaser for That Thing You Do. Add that with 1996 top 5 songs, interview with Bud, interview with Taylor Morden, and really all we have time is for a couple retro episodes. So I say maybe since movie of the month is That Thing You Do, directed by Tom Hanks, maybe we revisit The Burbs in our archive.
Love it. Great call.
Where you guys going? I just ordered pizza, man.
That was excellent.
Yeah. Well, it's Corey Feldman, so that voice has been worked on a few times.
No, wedding night.
Very nice. Okay, I mean, shoot, man, we're pretty much done here. Should we do 2 retro episodes or just do the one?
Shit, I think let's just do the one because we got 2 guest spots.
Yep.
2 top 5s, teaser trailer, and then
That Thing You Do.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 episodes this month. 7 of them live. So going to be a lot of people checking this out right here on YouTube for the month of April. Going to have some fun stuff coming this way. Anything else you want to get off your chest, man, or you think we should end it here?
No, I'm very excited about this month. I've shared the exciting news about riding a bicycle, and you've ridden a bicycle.
That's true. I have ridden a bike. Can I tell you, like when I was a kid, once I started to hit my growth spurt, my feet started getting bigger and bigger. I had basically like 3 straight years where I crashed my bicycle and missed my best friend's birthday party because I was in the ER. Literally 3 years in a row. One was I was jumping ramps, and we had this ramp that was like, so the road's here, the woods are right here. So, but the woods would be like down below and the ramp would be higher. So we would literally like ramp into the woods. So what happened is I caught some pretty decent air. And when I hit, my tire like went wobbly and sent me right into a tree, and I clipped it and it knocked half of my ear off. So my ear was dangling down. My friend's like, "Oh my God, dude, your ear." And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, flip, like playing with it. I'm like, "Oh God, my ear's falling off." So I had to go get my ear reattached.
Why have I never heard this story before?
Okay. That's not even the worst one that happened riding the bike. The next year, we are riding up. So one of my neighbors had like a real steep driveway, and we used to like ride up, and then that's when rollerblades were popular. This is right around the times of Mighty Ducks 2. So I was pulling one of my friends on the rollerblades. He was hanging onto the back of my seat, not my butt. Go easy. And because I was kind of struggling to get up, I was like, kind of left and right as hard as I could. The handlebar grip falls off, and the thing, what do you call the thing? The handle goes into my groin and rips a 7-inch gash, 1.5 inches deep in my leg. The doctor said it was less than a 1/4 of an inch away from my main artery. So it took like 200 something stitches to put it back together. And I didn't know. My sister actually was like, quit crying, you freaking baby, because nobody could see the hole. So I actually had to walk my bike back home about, I don't know, a couple 100 yards. And then I went to the bathroom. When I came out, my mom was like, what is wet on your leg? And she's like, let me see. Didn't you fall down? And I was like, yeah, I think I'm fine though. She pulls it back, and all you can see is scar tissue hanging out. It was like all just white skin and just this deep hole. And my mom was like, oh my God, we got to go. And I remember vividly having to calm her down because she was like hyperventilating, taking me to the ER. And I just remember I have a picture of me like with one of the gowns on and like a hat. And I'm just like, almost died. And then the next year wasn't so bad. I think I was trying to pedal to his house, and I just like my foot hit the ground, and I like toppled over the handlebars and like scraped up my face and arms. And I was like, okay, gonna go home. My face is all scraped up. Mm-hmm. So sorry about missing your birthday 3 years in a row.
Yeah, and I missed you every year.
Yeah, every single year. Oh man.
My only bad biking story is I fell off when I was like 8 or 9 and broke my arm.
That doesn't feel good either.
No, it hurt like hell.
Yep. Yeah, breaking bones is, I think, a lot different, because like when you tear an ear off or you jab a bike handle into your skin 7 inches long, like you really just go into shock. Mm-hmm. Like with neither of them, I had any pain. I was like, I'm fine. Like, what's the matter with you guys? And totally. Somebody was like, I can see the bones in your face. That's the matter with me.
Jeez, you're a rock star, man.
Or an idiot. I'm like the freaking Andy Samberg version of that movie where he just like destroys himself.
Hot Rod. You're a crash test dummy.
I guess, man. But yeah, I think that's it, man. I've had it with you. Let's call this thing.
Totes until tomorrow. So audience, thank you so much for checking in, listening. I'm assuming we've had no live listeners.
We have. Yeah, we've had a couple people pop in and pop out.
So yeah. Thank you. Awesome. We're going to continue to promote and drive to these live episodes. Check us out on YouTube, that you'll get to see all of this video content come out. I will have better internet connection starting tomorrow. And
fingers crossed.
Hey,
please, dear God.
No, okay. Would you rather have bad internet or user error and Kyle clicks out of the window in the middle of the podcast?
And how about my fingers are so thick I can't really cross them? They're just on top of each other. Goddamn sausage fingers. No, yeah, I appreciate the plug there for our YouTube account. So definitely throw us a subscribe. Oh my gosh! Before we end this, episode 3. Why did this flop? What are we doing?
Oh shit!
Oh my gosh!
Do we even? I mean, we've got 7 episodes going on this month. Do we want to add an 8th?
We might want to play that one by ear, because we also have 2 other podcasts that need a little bit of attention.
Yeah.
So, okay, maybe we take a month off of Why Did This Flop and fit that in back in May.
All right, let's throw it out to the audience. Let's ask what they want us to talk about in terms of why it flopped.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we'll do a poll, and then we'll just plan on doing that like right at the beginning of May.
I love it. That's that's good by me. So we'll come up with should we come up with a list now?
I mean, that's kind of why we're here. Yeah, let's do it.
Crickets.
No, I'm typing in a search so we can go through this together here. Here we go. I'm going to share this and not delete myself. Here we go. Let's take a look at some of the biggest box office flops.
Not watching Cats. Just throw that out there. Will not watch that.
That's going to be a hard no for me. Gods of Egypt? No. What? Flowers of War. Can't do that to my man Christian Bale.
Forgot about that.
Oh, the Green Zone. Good Lord.
There's
Bicentennial Man.
Throw that on the list. Let's throw Bicentennial Man on the list.
Okay. Okay, let me keep scrolling as I'm writing here. Ben-Hur. Yeah, I hate those types of movies. Stepford Wives now. Peter Pan remake.
If you feel like listening to Coldplay.
The Wolfman. $150 million. It still made 142. It's not like a horrible flop. Treasure Planet, The Heart of the Sea. Let's get to the good stuff. Let me go on the bottom.
No. Include Riddick. Include Chronicles of Riddick.
Okay. Let me go back up. Chronicles of Riddick. God, I hope these movies, we can even find them.
And maybe we come up with a list of 5 or 6 and then trim it down to 4.
Catwoman. Yes. Oh, hello. Ali. I can't believe that movie was a flop.
I enjoyed that. I had a fun time watching that.
Plus, it's an amazing song on the soundtrack called "I Am the Greatest" too, which I also think is R. Kelly. Can't say that anymore. The Widowmaker. Harrison Ford's never made a bad movie. What are they doing? Speed Racer.
I don't want to watch that. I've seen it. I don't want to watch it again.
Conan the Barbarian now. The Road to El Dorado. Land of the Lost. I actually rewatched this recently. It's horrible.
Is it horrible enough to throw on the short list before we cut it down to?
Yeah, I mean, we could certainly. It would definitely be one that we could put on the list. Let me write Land of the Lost. This one, I don't know why this is a flop. I actually really like Deepwater Horizon. I saw this in theaters.
I don't know what the hell it is.
It's Mark Wahlberg dramatizing like a big like oil spill.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
I generally pass on Mark Wahlberg movies. I remember Wind Talkers.
Yeah.
Around the World in 80 Days is. I walked out of that movie. It was so bad.
Oh God! Don't. Oh, The Son of Mask. Yikes!
Never seen it.
R.I.P.D.
I feel like you've seen that.
I started to watch it and turned it off. Stealth.
I remember Stealth.
I can sit through anything Jessica Biel.
Oops.
Whoa! Whoops. Monster Trucks. My son loves this movie. It's not that bad. Now, you're looking at this goofball here with the teeth. Visual effects could have been a little bit better on the design of this guy. Other than that, I don't hate this movie at all.
I don't know it.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be the worst movie ever. How do you know? I think that's the last Jack Nicholson movie.
No.
Paul Rudd hasn't aged one day. That's from 2006. The Promise.
Oh, okay. Pluto Nash goes on the list. I watched Pluto Nash in college. I did not mind it.
Okay. Adventures of Pluto Nash.
And look how it's just the picture's just a copy of the DVD.
Right. Disrespectful. Mars needs moms. Okay. So we've got a couple. I'll throw some up there. Bicentennial Man, Chronicles of Riddick, Land of the Lost, and Adventures of Pluto Nash. And we'll see which one gets picked.
Yeah,
and we'll
it's
have
up to you,
something
audience.
Yeah. There you go. So that's it. Thank you guys for listening and joining in on this episode of Shootin' the Manure. We will be back tomorrow right here on YouTube interviewing the director of The Last Blockbuster. His name is Taylor Morden. We've got a lot to talk about with Taylor, so definitely tune in for that episode. And then you can support us right here by clicking the subscribe button or hitting the subscribe button on your podcast app. You will never miss an episode that way. If you want to throw us an idea about future episodes, just drop us a DM on Twitter and Instagram at Back in Time Pod. But for now, I think this is a good place to close it out. JD, take us away. Final thought.
Yeah. Yeah. So awesome. Thank you all. We will catch you tomorrow, and let's end this with a burp.